So Chris, would you mind going into a little bit, let's start with the last 6 months. You went through this life-changing experience, you got arrested, you went to prison, which is traumatic from the point of time it happened. Can you explain a little bit about how maybe that impacted yourself and the family system that you have?
Well, I'd like to back up just a little bit more. I'm really glad that I get asked this question because this is most important to me. Jail sucked. Everything around this case sucked, but what's really dear to my heart is what my son and my family still deal with today, and that's the PTSD from the case. Whether it's my fault or the state's fault, I'm not here to pick and choose or point fingers. I'm just here to make my son better, to help him feel better. When you walk out of your house and you get in your car every day to take your kids to school, the last thing you think is you look out the window and see 15 unmarked cars trailing you. And then 8 miles later down the road, when they still haven't pulled you over and you begin to panic and not know how to explain to your kids what's going on, it sets in. You realize right away that it's going to be bad. So at 6 years old, my son saw everything. He saw the raid, he saw tanks, he saw ghillie suits, he saw AR-15s. And he's almost 12 today, and it affects him dearly. If we get pulled over on the side of the road, he's on the floorboard of the car. He doesn't go to public school because he has a problem with authority. If someone tells him, hey son, you got to sit down, put your feet up on the desk, he goes into a panic mode of not being able to interact with the adult. If we leave him at school and leave, he is so worried we're going to go to jail or that we're not going to be there to pick him up. He runs out of the class. He's almost 12 years old. So from a family standpoint, it's something that we've dealt with every single day. So we've had to adjust our family life in a lot of ways. Before I went to jail, we do a program at my house called High Low. And it involves my family every day, every dinner. We include guests. When people come over and eat with us, we all do it. It's something my kids love. But it allows my family to discuss the high point of the day, the low point of the day, and they don't get interrupted. So when my 10-year-old, my 12-year-old, when they have something to say, they're heard. They get feedback. And it's something that's helped us heal. It's helped us make sure, it's kind of a check and balance throughout our day and throughout our family to make sure that those days are okay. That, maybe one day might be a little harder, even though it has been 6 years. It still affects us today. So coming home the last 6 months was, my PTSD, I wasn't even aware I had. I'm very forgetful. I panic around large crowds. If I'm locked in small areas, obviously, I have issues. And then I probably have a little issue with authority myself, I definitely don't like being told no or that I can't, obviously. But with the last 6 months, I don't know, the first 4 years of fighting the case, I had to build to protect my family and build for them. While I was in prison, I had to kick back and watch. I had to learn patience. I had to learn delegation. I had to learn so many things about me that I really needed to learn that I didn't think I was capable of. And then the last 6 months was really just reintegration, getting back into normal life, if you can call it that, considering we went from 25 grand in sales to $250,000. Every day we ship to 9 to 10 different states a day. So while dealing with my family PTSD and reintegrating back into home and balancing the business on top of it, we've just made sure to stay at the basics, and that's love. That's us. That's what was there before the raid. That was there after the raid, and we talk, we communicate. My son has a hard time doing that, so I just make sure an extra hug is there, an extra second of patience is there. And I make sure not to get mad at who I hold responsible for it, whether it be me or them, or it's over. There's nothing I can do now but heal and try to make people better and show them there's love and a support system there. The last 6 months, honestly, the business has helped us get through that. I think staying busy like this and staying proactive, and I don't know any other way to explain it other than, man, God's an awesome person, and if you believe in that higher power, take full advantage. We just put it in his hands. It's bigger than me now.
No, that's amazing, and thank you for that testimony. What you said, communication is definitely the foundation of success when it comes to healing from any kind of mental deviance or disorder, a traumatic situation, or even, problems in your relationship. Maybe, you and your girlfriend are getting into arguments all the time. Maybe it's you and your spouse. Maybe it's you and your 12-year-old child that they're going through those changes and have a lot of emotions running rampant. And it comes down to that communication skill. And I like the fact that you incorporate that in your family mealtime to bring unification back into your household that for the last 2 years has been very much divided. It's my hat's off to you for the resiliency that you have, your family has, to not only go through the legal system of what unfortunately our government is coming down and prosecuting for what happened, which is just ridiculous in my opinion. But the resiliency you not only have with your company to grow and expand while this was going on, the ability that you've had to, reunite your family and really take that on the leading front head of the company and let that family healing happen first and let that company come with you along the process. Along with communication, there's a lot of other tools and techniques out there.